Welcome to this video, Bad Coding Examples in Python. Now we're going to look through this relatively short Python script now, point out all the exceptions, the errors, the problems, and then later, in a different video, we'll fix them and use that as an example of good programming in Python. Now this is a pretty short program, not a lot of code, so frankly bad programming is a little less impactful because there's only 4 lines of code. You can figure out what's going on. However, let's look at the bad names. S? How about email server, mail server, something to that effect? M? How about message, MSG, something obvious? Now again, this is so short that the damage of bad names is minimal. You can figure it out. But if you do those same sort of 4 names in longer programs, it's going to be a nightmare to try to figure out what the code does. Secondly, I see no comments. Now, given how short this is, and I see SMTP, and I see send mail, I'm guessing this is something to send email. Not to mention the title of the script is Send Email in Python. So in a short program like this, it's not so terrible to have no comments. But I'm a big fan of comments never hurt. Why not put the comments in there to help explain what you're doing? Now let's look at something else that's missing. There's no exception handling. Now some people argue that you don't always need exception handling. I think you do. However, let's look at this code. Do you think it's possible to generate an exception when trying to connect to an email server? Do you think it's possible to generate an exception when trying to send an email? Perhaps you've got the wrong password. Perhaps there's some connectivity issue. Lots and lots of reasons why an error could be generated. And in this code, there's no exception handling. There's also no white space. Everything is all jumbled up together, which makes it harder to read. Now, that doesn't seem so noticeable in just 4 lines of code. Now, some of you might be thinking, there's such a short program, who cares? Human beings are creatures of habit. If you start writing bad code in the short programs, I promise you'll start writing bad code in the longer programs. Besides, how much time does it take to put in a couple of comments, better names, and a try exception block? Not much at all. All the things I just mentioned could all be done within probably 60 to 120 seconds, 1 to 2 minutes. This is a good example of how bad code is unacceptable, even with programs so small that they might be considered trivial. Now again, as I said, in a later video, we're going to show you how to write this the proper way.